Hi everybody. I thought I would take you along on a little journey of our property out here hidden in the back roads of Virginia. We made a surprising discovery upon purchasing the house that I thought some of you might enjoy this week. Our 1909 farmhouse sits on 5 acres of land, and we have been working really hard the past 3 years to try and bring her back to life. Believe it or not, the property itself was in worse shape than the house. We've had to get rid of trees, shrubs, and vines that have overtaken and suffocated the land. For instance, this fence that I'm walking along was completely destroyed and covered with shrubbery. We cleared it all off and we replaced the fence. Along here in the front yard, we had to cut down a dead tree, and we wanted to show all the other beautiful trees that we have here. Some of these trees are really old and they are just absolutely beautiful in the fall. We fell in love with them. This here is one of my favorite trees that I'm standing under. I just knew that I had to put a swing on it when we moved in. As you can see, there's some woods in the background, and that's about 2 more acres of land that we have back there. That is included in the 5. We have replaced the roof, painted the trim to try to brighten this girl up and bring her back to life. We also did a lot of landscaping, as the house was completely covered in the front with bushes and vines and shrubbery. You couldn't even see the bottom windows. So one of the first things I wanted to do was get new landscaping. This is the left side of the house. That's Bob waving there in the back, trying to keep the hawks away from our chicken. Another big thing we did here was we built this fire pit. Me and my husband, by hand, all by ourselves. We laid the brick. We put in these special bricks that we found pointing north and south. We thought it was a cute element to add to the fire pit. And that's the side of the house there. This again is just showing all the trees and the side of the house. This was an open porch when we bought it, but I knew immediately that I wanted it to be screened in. So that was a project that we did last year. We have a cellar that walks out to the yard. You can see the big building in the back there is the garage. That was the big project of this year that we had tackled. Again, here's the back side of the house. You can see the cellar. We have another big walnut tree here with a swing. The garage, we built a gazebo out back. That's our garden and our chicken coop all attached together. And that's all of our woods back there. And as I walk down the hill here, I'm approaching our mulberry trees that we have. And we actually have a little hidden path that goes into the woods. So now here we are coming upon the path. Somebody in time who lived here before carved out this path in the woods. There's a little makeshift bridge they had made too that we're gonna fix eventually into an actual little bridge, because we do get a little bit of water in there. Believe it or not, there was a fire pit back here in the woods, and so we put some brick around it and we put a little bench there, and sometimes we do come back here and sit. But this is the part that I want to show you. In this little nook of the woods, we made a discovery when we first bought the property that we didn't really notice immediately. If you notice, we're coming upon a little statue here and some little pile of rocks. What could it be, we thought? Well, it's a pet cemetery. We have a pet cemetery in our backyard. Yes, folks, I have a cat pet cemetery, but don't worry, it's not buried on top of an Indian burial ground. As we leave the pet cemetery and go to the right and continue walking down the path, this path goes all the way around the back of our property. It's really beautiful and peaceful. We try not to come out here too much in the summer because of the ticks. You'll see a lot of trees bending down and bent over, or fallen down. That's just something that we've not been able to tackle yet. We do need to clear out a lot of dead and down trees here. And we're coming up along another nook in the backwoods here. We made this when we hosted Easter one year, and we did a little Easter egg hunt. Hence, that's why the cross is there, because we did a scavenger hunt for the kids, and this was the final spot for the scavenger hunt. And to make it cute for everybody to see, I had taken some rocks from the property and I painted all of our family's names on the rocks. And so we actually kind of made this like a little sanctuary spot where you can just come and sit and relax and enjoy the woods, maybe pray. And that's why we kept the cross there. It's like a little sanctuary hidden away spot. I do need to do some cleanup back here. I see a lot of leaves covering my little rocks, and we've had more babies being born. So now I have to make some more rocks for this area. And so now when we leave that little nook, we continue on down the path through the woods, our little private wooded forest. I, of course, would love to put little twinkle lights and all kinds of things down this wooded path to make it even more magical than it is. But my husband's really not about that life. He enjoys the deer coming through our woods. We've had deer, we've had stray dogs, and believe it or not, we even had a pig once come from someone else's property. I'm showing you here what our woods actually look like. You can see a lot of the trees that are down and bent. And unfortunately, the people that lived here before really just didn't take care of the property. Storms come through, knock trees down, and they would never pull them out and get rid of them. So that is one big project that we really have on our plates. Of course, there's a tree to the side, for example, that my husband had to cut down. We really would like to get to the place where we could clear out all the down trees, just to make it look better. But it is just me and my husband, so we do what we can when we can. And so now here we come upon another nook. To the right there, you can go out of the woods, but to the left here, there's another little nook back in the woods. I have to bend down to get under this piece of bamboo here, and yes, somewhere in time somebody decided to plant bamboo. And if you know anything about bamboo, it is invasive, it is horrible to deal with. We've tried to cut a little bit here on the ground, as you can see, but it sprouts right back up. It is beautiful when it blows in the wind, but it is a bear. There's nothing we can do about it right now. Sometimes we do cut the pieces down and use them in the garden, but that's about it with the bamboo. So then we continue on the path here, and now this is going to take us out. We have actually found old farm equipment back here too. There's just always all kinds of stuff. So now we are going to come out, and this pops us out back by the gazebo area, and you can see the back of the house and the garage and the garden. And so this is the view from the back of the property. Again, there's the gazebo, you can see the garage, the garden, our huge walnut tree. We've got some fruit trees back here, just a really pretty view. And so now I'm bringing you back up to the front of the property. Again, here's the garage that we just had built this year. That's my husband's pet project. And this is the side of the house. I fell in love with these porches, and that's what sold me on this house. I just absolutely love them. So I hope you have enjoyed coming along with me on this little journey of our property and seeing the surprise, the pet cemetery. Can you believe it? See you next time.